everyone, Viola here from Yoga by Viola, coming at you with a new video. I know it's been a minute, a hot second actually, since I've recorded one of these, so I apologize for the wait. But I come bearing gifts with a very special guest here, James of Dat Yoga Dude, hashtag Dat Yoga Dude, @Dat Yoga Dude for Instagram. And he's actually visiting from LA, and he's up here in Seattle, and we got a chance to link up, and it's been really cool. It's like the vibes have been very chill, like almost as if we've known each other for a hot second, even though we only just recently met through Instagram, but it's been really chill. And so what we wanted to talk about today is one of the topics we've been discussing since he's been here, is this idea of liberation and how to embrace your liberating beliefs and kind of to find out where you're conflicted or constricted and start to live the life that's more liberating for you and more free in being yourself. And so that's the topic we're going to kind of just sit here and discuss, real chill. You can listen in, grab your tea, grab your hot chocolate, whatever it is that makes you comfortable, grab your yoga mat and just get comfortable. I'll see you guys back here in a second. Well, welcome back everyone. So James, tell me a little bit about your experience being here in Seattle. Just more so, I already know, is tell the people, give the people a little insight about what you thought since you've been here and what you've learned and seen.
Seattle has been amazing. I felt welcome getting off the plane, welcomed by the trees and all the greenery. Not welcomed by the sun. I kind of missed the sun, but we were talking about that. It came out a little bit, peeked out from the clouds, but that I feel like adds to it. The people have been very welcoming. I had a chance to take a class at Tiger Lily Yoga Studio, and I actually ended up linking with the yoga instructor, and we went out. We had some smoothies, and Viola joined us, and it was a great experience to link up. And it feels like it's a community here that's really doing some great stuff with the yoga, and with really just building on that liberation of self and going deep and finding out what it is that we need to free ourselves from. So all the people that Viola has introduced me to and that I've just met on the street have been real chill and real cool. And like I said, just the greenery out here in Seattle, just the vibe of it all together is very welcoming. So I'm happy to be here.
It's very green. Very green indeed. Seattle's really green. So when James got here and we were having smoothies with Demethea from Tiger Lily, immediately we wasted no time, like jumping right in and just talking about life and this journey that each of us is kind of taking, and where we see ourselves and how we want to impact and influence other people, but more so coming back to the self. And on Sunday we talked a lot about, liberating beliefs and what our liberating beliefs were. But more so, before we even get into the liberating beliefs, we have to identify with the self-deprecating beliefs or the negative beliefs or the limiting beliefs that hold us back from embracing, those liberating beliefs. One of those, for both of us, that we both talked about was this idea of like being really small and, growing up from a young age and just always kind of hiding or dimming your light, dimming your beauty, dimming your gifts, and always believing that you kind of have to shrink yourself down in order to assimilate or acclimate to society, in order to make other people feel comfortable, or just, you just don't learn to think highly of yourself, at a young age, so you kind of just go around shrinking yourself. And, James is doing wonderful, wonderful things in his community, and, is such a powerhouse, and it has such a huge impact and influence, but we both find ourselves just still wanting to play it small, instead of like really filling up the full capacity of our whole being and embracing that and understanding that that's where we are, and then moving on from there. You want to talk some more about?
Definitely. And even in this whole process of coming to Seattle,
Yeah.
was a process of self-love, because it was a process of trusting myself and Viola trusting herself. So like she said, this is the first time we met.
Yeah.
First time we met, and she allowed me to stay here in her personal space, and to just, she spent time with me and offered me her own personal time, her weekend. She gave me her weekend, so that was really meant a lot to me. And she never met me before. You know, she just saw my Instagram. She saw my social media life. So it was a big piece of trust for me to be like, hey, I'm coming to this foreign city. Please don't kick me out on the streets. Please don't run me. And we had a message going back and forth like, hey, are you a serial killer? You know?
Yeah, can you just let me know that you're cool? Like, ain't nothing gonna happen? Like, yeah.
Right. So in that process of learning to love myself, it's also a process of learning to trust myself. And having that trust to go with my decisions, and having that trust to be able to come to a different place mentally, physically, and spiritually, and know that I will be safe there. And I'll be cared for and nurtured there. And that is a big part of me being free, because if I feel like I can't trust my decision to go and be free, there's no sense of trying to go for it. I might as well stay captivated in what people think about me and how people feel about me. But if I trust that there's something greater out there, it's worth it. It's so much worth it. So, you want it.
I agree. You know, I've been just going off that, you know, like inviting him into my home. I was living in a period of a lot of introversion. Like I was just very introverted, and I didn't trust myself, let alone anybody around me. And that was a time of a little bit of depression, about a year or so ago. And in the last few months, I've been kind of budding and flowering out of that. But that has been coming from the first, like James was saying, I've been learning how to trust myself and trust the divinity, the God inside of me, that I'm being guided, you know, to something bigger, to something greater. And so I'm not so worried all the time about like what's coming to me. I know that it's always going to be for my good and for my build-up or edification. So, you know, when James, you know, emailed me and was just like, you know, I might be coming in town in so days, you know, would you like to get together, or would you even be so willing to let me crash? And, you know, it didn't even cross my mind to say no. You know, I trusted, you know, the process. I trusted the opportunity. I looked at it as an occasion that could serve me, and as a result serve the greater good. And, you know, I took it with full trust, and embracing that trust and knowing that there's something bigger, there's something greater, then, you know, this situation that's going to come of it is going to lead to a fruitfulness and, you know, a fruitful relationship. And that's exactly what has happened. You know, we've just been vibing. And so in terms of like the first thing I brought, which was the limiting belief of thinking of yourself small, the best way to, you know, combat that, or to, you know, no longer have that belief, is to start to trust yourself, you know, trusting that who you are is enough, trusting that divine voice inside of you, because you always hear it. It's like a divine guide. It's God, you know, himself or herself speaking in you and through you. And sometimes people call it intuition or whatnot, but starting to have more trust in yourself and knowing that self-trust is actually a perfect example or a perfect, you know, indicator of self-love, of loving yourself, and starting to take that step to start to trust yourself, trust your inner voice, trust your process, and just seeing how that begins to guide you, and you're able to make really concrete decisions in your life, knowing that I trust this process, I trust this decision that I'm making, and moving from there.
Right. And it's definitely a process. As I always say, I was writing that email about 10, 15 times, trying to make it sound right, just to put myself out there. I had to trust myself, and I had to let go of all the other voices that were telling me, no, that's crazy, all the other fears. Sometimes you can't Google and Yelp everything. Sometimes you have to just go with your own intuitions and go with your own divine voice and spirit and go with it. Because there's always something that's going to push you into fear. And I knew, as Viola said, trusting the fruitfulness that will come from it, I have to understand the roots in the tree that I already have to bear that fruit. And I've been putting work into this tree right here for a while. I've been putting in that work.
Right? I feel it.
So I gotta trust the fruit that's gonna come from it. I have to trust it on a daily basis. And as I continue putting in the work into my tree, into my roots, tending the soil, collecting the water for the rain,
Right.
I know that fruit is gonna be sweet. And this is proof.
That's so real.
This is proof of sweet fruit right here. Just our connection, our vibe, and
Yeah.
the more delicious fruit that is gonna come from it, that we can feed ourselves and feed all the people within our community and
Right.
the communities that we're growing. So being able to take the time to invest into yourself and trust what you are investing into yourself.
Right. Oh, that's so real.
Trust the time, trust the energy,
Yeah.
trust the relationships that you have been investing into to bear the fruit that you want for yourself and for others around you. And that is such a freeing process to understand that you put in the work. So what's going to come out of it is going to be something that's going to liberate you. That's
Right.
going to feed you mentally, physically, and spiritually. And it's such a beautiful process. So.
Yes. Preach. So, would you say that coming here, your liberating belief then was the fruit, that this was going to bear fruit?
Yes, yes. Coming here and getting over my fears and obstacles and hurdles of just traveling in general. Like you going somewhere, you don't have a concrete, you don't have a hotel to stay at, you don't have this, you don't have this, all these fears of what I don't have, bringing attention away from what I do have, which is a intuition, which is a whole lot of skills and a whole lot of beauty that I've developed and worked on to bear beautiful fruit. And yes, this is the fruit, this relationship that we're here, all the experiences that I've had. As soon as I got off the plane, it was bearing fruit by bringing me closer to the trees around me and bringing me closer to the people that are here. I could have not had these relationships if I didn't get over those fears of coming.
Right.
I wanted to see Seattle. I wanted to see the clouds, and I wanted to see the beauty in the rain. I got a little rain on me yesterday, a little sprinkle.
Seattle mist.
Seattle mist. I went to Starbucks. It's the OG place for Starbucks.
Yeah.
So I would not have had those opportunities that will, I know, inevitably lead into greater opportunities to develop more fruit, as I said, for myself and more fruit for others. And we need fruit to liberate ourselves.
Yes.
We need that energy. We need that sustenance to be liberated in all the ways that we want to, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Right.
You need to feed yourself to free yourself,
Right.
as always. So we're developing it.
Yes. So when he was saying that liberating belief was the belief that this journey was going to bear fruit, I can kind of piggyback on that and say that my liberating belief that I embraced when he asked me if, he could camp out and chill with me at my apartment was the same. Just embracing the liberating belief that this opportunity would bear fruit, that would enhance me as a human being, that would develop me emotionally and physically and interpersonally. Having interpersonal skills, is a huge tool and skill at our at our disposal. And I knew that I wanted the opportunity to kind of refine that skill, being able to speak to people and being able to be authentic with people when I speak with them, and having somebody come into my home where I'm completely exposed and kind of stripped. You're seeing me at my bare, at my bare essentials, provided me such an opportunity to start to exercise being authentic with people and being authentic with this one person, so that when I go out and I meet people like you, or I meet people, on the street or in the yoga community, I still have that authenticity. It's no walls, no fronts, no affronts. You're getting the real me, on a daily basis. And you're able to relate to me. That relatability is so important because it allows you and me to be vulnerable. And so we're able to continue to build a stronger relationship. We're building on our vulnerabilities, and as we're doing so, we're growing and developing and edifying one another. It just provides such an opportunity for sisterhood or brotherhood when you allow yourself to be authentic. And so allowing this person into my home, the fruit that I was bearing in mind, or the liberating belief that I was embracing, was this opportunity to exercise authenticity and being authentic. And after living a life where I was so introverted, and when I was around people I was so I just had so many walls up. I know that it's time for me to be authentic and not be as afraid of showing who I am and like being myself and knowing that, hey, there's other people out there who are like me, who need to see me being myself so that they can feel free to be themselves and to be, begin to liberate themselves by being themselves, right? So there's so many opportunities when you start to embrace those liberating beliefs that you have inside of your heart and inside of your head. But first, in order to start to get to those or embrace those liberating beliefs, you have to cut the limiting beliefs. Like we said, the first one being trusting in yourself and knowing that that trust is an example of self-love. And so it's been really cool learning that and taking that journey with James. And we have so much dope shit or just dope goods-ish like planned for you guys. I'm so excited to, partner with this dude and link up. We're actually going to be planning a retreat here pretty soon for 2017. The Be Free retreat. And we're looking at spots for you guys to make it happen. Please feel free to comment below on maybe anywhere specific that you'd like to go or something specific that you want to learn. Obviously, it's going to be a yoga retreat, journaling, and all that good stuff on how to embrace, your liberty in your life and feel free to feel free. But let us know specifically, at a type of retreat like this, what you guys would want to learn, what you want to hear from us, maybe some of our backgrounds, our stories, what we can do to, to start to help you, feel free and be liberated, and follow both of us on Instagram, me at Yoga by Biola, that's YOGABYBIOLA. And then you can follow James at That Yoga Dude, that's DATYOGADUDE. And also, just like I said, stay tuned. Remember to sign up and subscribe at yogabyBiola.com, YOGABYBIOLA.com, and more good stuff coming to you. Anything you want to sign out with, James?
Just inviting you all to take the time to feel free and really sit with that. Sit with that to gain your own sense of liberation.
Right.
It's worth it.
All right, guys. Love you so much. Namaste. I will see you very soon. Feel free. Be liberated. It's going on out here. Peace.
Peace.